First of all, Mr. Speaker, I would like to take the opportunity to pay tribute to our brave soldiers who sacrifice so much to keep us safe. I would like to pay tribute to the Pakistani Air Force, which has once again proven that they are indeed the best Air Force in the world. I would like to make special mention of PAF pilot Hassan Siddiqui, who shot down the Indian aircraft that had violated our sovereign territory. And the two courageous soldiers, Shaheed Abdul Rab and Shaheed Khurram, who sacrificed their lives on the line of control. It would be remiss for me not to pay tribute to Shaheed Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, whose foresight in developing Pakistan's nuclear capabilities is today our best line of defense, and to Shaheed Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto, who provided missile technology to Pakistan and further strengthened our defense. Mr. Speaker, I want to make it crystal clear that the significance of India's belligerence and naked aggression cannot be underestimated. The violation of Pakistan's sovereignty was an unprecedented violation, a violation which has not taken place since 1971. And the onus of this escalation falls solely and squarely on the shoulders of Mr. Modi's Hindutva extremist government. To exploit a terrorist attack for petty political gain is awful in and of itself. But to politicize war between two nuclear-armed nations just so he can perform in his electoral arena is really to descend to new depths of depravity. The world, Mr. Speaker, may not know Mr. Modi, but the Muslims of the subcontinent know him well. The butcher of Gujarat is infamous for his role in the Gujarat massacre. The very countries now parroting his line for Pakistan to do more would not even grant him a visa to enter their countries because he was such an extremist hate monger with blood on his hands. We have seen how the butcher of Gujarat, upon being elected to India's highest office, has now become the butcher of Kashmir. As a new generations of Kashmiris rise up to demand their rights, Modi's tyrannical government has broken all records of inhumanity. We have watched in horror. We've watched in horror as the world stood idly by while young Kashmiris were blinded by pellet guns, while they were used as human shields, while rape was deployed as a weapon of suppression, oppression, and terror. The United Nations resolution calling for a plebiscite in Kashmir gathers dust while the world is apathetic to the plight of Kashmiri Muslims. Let the plebiscite take place. Let the people of Kashmir deploy their democratic right and choose their destiny. And we can guarantee, Mr. Speaker, that there will be no such a terrorist attack in Kashmir ever again. Obviously, those who condemn violence must condemn violence on all sides. But the Pulwama attack wasn't the same as Mumbai or any other attack. This was not an attack by non-state actors coming from another country. This was an organic domestic attack by a Kashmiri citizen of occupied Kashmir, attacking within occupied Kashmir, using explosives found within occupied Kashmir, reacting violently to generations of state terrorism in occupied Kashmir. And rather than facing their own issues, India is trying in vain to pin this on Pakistan. After a humiliating electoral defeat in the last regional elections, the extremist Indian government thinks they can hate-monger their way through the general elections. The world needs to understand, Mr. Speaker, the world needs to understand the dangers of this violation. We have already set dangerous international precedents in the name of fighting terrorism. We've already allowed non-state actors to decide the fate of nations. We've already allowed for the violation of international law when it comes to drone strikes in sovereign territories. The Osama bin Laden was the world's most wanted terrorist. And in that case, we have already set dangerous international precedents. But there is no parallel to be drawn here. In this case, India has no cause, no justification, and no case. Do we really want this precedent to be set? Does the world really want this precedent to be set, Mr. Speaker?
भारतीय जारियत को नजरअंदाज नहीं किया जा सकता। शुक्रगुजार हूं कि अपोजिशन को बजट बहस पर इजाजत दी गई। मजीद कहा कि दुनिया मोदी को नहीं जानती होगी, लेकिन बड़े ज़ख़ीर के मुसलमान बहुत अच्छी तरह से वाकिफ हैं। हमारी फ़ज़ाइया ने साबित किया कि ये दुनिया की बेहतरीन फोर्स। ये कहना है बिलावल भुट्टो का, कौमी असम्बली में सारे ख्याल कर रहे थे। और रीजनल बुलेटिन से